So I work for UNHCR, and UNHCR is an agency that is working globally to save lives and also protect rights of those forced to flee, as well as those people that are stateless. This basically means that everybody who is forced to flee, including refugees who flee from one country to another, or those that are fleeing inside their own country, have access to life-saving assistance, but also that their rights are protected. This basically means when somebody crosses a border that they have a document that proves that they are a refugee, that they fall under the protection of the 1951 Refugee Convention, and therefore also have certain rights attributed to them. As well as if you're an internally displaced person, you also need access to life-saving assistance. It is very multi-layered. You might have needs in terms of food security, health, education, but also making sure that the rights of all of those who are forced to flee are protected, especially also the rights of women and girls who are additionally vulnerable in times of forced displacement. So in terms of examples of what we actually do in the field, this ranges from support on the normative side, but also on the operational side. On the normative side, you can imagine that we work a lot with host governments to make sure that their legal framework is robust and is able to safeguard the rights of those forced to flee as well as stateless persons, but also making sure that when somebody actually crosses the border, sometimes states request the help of UNHCR to support with the registration of refugees, but then also making sure that actual assistance flows through them. And especially when it comes to refugees, UNHCR has a special mandate. We actually coordinate the global interagency support to refugees, which also means that UNHCR has to work together with other actors, meaning other UN agencies, NGOs, local partners, to make sure that we all can come together and design a proper response plan, making sure that everybody knows what part they are responsible for and how to contribute to best support those forced to flee. So in terms of operational support, we provide direct assistance, meaning providing specific goods in terms of kits to women, food security, education, health, but also a lot of cash. And this is a form of assistance that's coming up more and more, which actually allows the person forced to flee themselves to decide where they want to spend the money on based on the needs that they have at that moment. So UNHCR fully supports the Sustainable Development Goals in the 2030 Agenda. UNHCR is a multi-sectoral agency. We actually focus on two specific parts. One part is on the inclusion agenda, and the second one is on partnerships. When it comes to inclusion, with the rise of the number of people that are forced to flee, we are working with governments and other stakeholders to make sure that those forced to flee can be included in national support systems, national social protection safety nets, to make sure that those people that are forced to flee actually are not just supported by UNHCR and our partners, but are supported by the host state. And that inclusion part is extremely important. But secondly, the partnership side is also very important for UNHCR, because we realize we cannot do everything on our own. This is why we actively work with other partners. We have launched the Global Compact on Refugees, which basically is an instrument that we use to bring in other partners into the response that we provide for those forced to flee and stateless persons. So the GCR, the Global Compact on Refugees, actively also tries to bring in development partners, national governments, those that are able to provide a whole of society approach and a whole of society support for those forced to flee. And in terms of which specific SDGs we support, UNHCR being a multi-sectoral agency, we don't just focus on one specific sector like food. We actually, we are a protection agency, so we look a lot at the rights of those forced to flee and making sure that they are protected, the rights of women and girls, making sure that they are safe during their time of displacement. But also, this means that we have a priority number of SDGs we support, which basically are supporting the inclusion agenda, making sure that refugees, IDP, stateless people are able to have adequate health conditions, but also to make sure that they have access to education, as well as a number of other SDGs. So UNHCR unfortunately is facing a multitude of challenges. This is due to the increase of the number of those forced to flee. Unfortunately, we're already over 100 million people around the world that are forced to flee, which means 1 out of 78 people is displaced. Such a large number of people that fall under our concern also means that we have to do more. This means that we have to ask for more funds. You can imagine a war that happened recently in Ukraine, a huge increase of the number of forcibly displaced people inside Ukraine, but also in neighboring countries. These people need assistance, they need livelihood support. We need to work with governments to make sure that their rights are protected. But also in all the other countries that we work, there's a lot of forgotten crises out there. Think just about the Democratic Republic of Congo, or the situation in Mali, Bangladesh, situation in Latin America, the Venezuela crisis. There are so many different countries that require support from UNHCR, and that also means that our budgets increase. But as you might know, the global economy is cracking a little bit, the inflation is rising, so we are also dependent on the support, of governments mostly, but also people like you and I, meaning that the more people that are displaced, the more support we need. And when an economy is faltering, that often also means increased challenges for us to raise funds. So for me, one of the things that came to mind would be, UNHCR being an agency that looks out to those forced to flee and stateless persons. Imagine a situation where people are fleeing from one country to another. They're hosted in a particular area in that state. Often these locations are a little bit isolated. UNHCR and partners work together to bring the assistance together with the government to the population as well as the host community concerned. Let's say you successfully have completed that challenge, making sure that lives are saved and rights are protected. On the long term, this can create new issues. These populations might stay there for a longer period of time, from 5 to 25 years. That also means that these people will continue to need assistance, especially if they're in a situation that is fairly remote and isolated, without proper access to also jobs and access to the labor market. So the challenge is that once you have successfully provided humanitarian assistance, how do you bring on board the other partners that can ensure sustainable development for this population of concern? Some of the solutions and some of the work that UNHCR does is actively trying to work with host governments to make sure that these refugees, internally displaced persons, are at least integrated in national frameworks, national support systems, but also working with development partners. Partners that usually are not in a humanitarian response, but making sure that they are actually integrated from the beginning, so that our work is not just siloed, but that we can actually create a holistic plan, making sure that we all contribute to the sustainable development of not just the national population, but especially also those who are most vulnerable, which often includes those forced to flee.